How's it going, guys? I'm gonna do a video. It's pretty much for my owners. If you own one of my guitars, I'm gonna do probably 2 videos. One will be just looking at the guitar. You know, if you have one of my guitars, hopefully you're enjoying it. I know you got to restring them now and then. I know I build them as low maintenance as I can, but you never know. But let's go ahead and restring this guitar. It kind of became a shop guitar, and I have played the shit out of it. So we'll go ahead and put some fresh strings on it and kind of go through some steps I do when I change the strings. Low maintenance doesn't mean no maintenance. So let's get going. And you're gonna need, so you see some of the stuff I have laying over here. I'll kind of explain what I use while I'm doing this. But gotta do it sometimes. They need love too. You gotta have your trusty wire dikes, wire cutters. I'll get them strings off of there. And I'll probably do another video of stringing it up and going through, you know, setup and intonation and dialing it in. But just wanted to go through some of the stuff you need to look at when you restring your guitar. Just go ahead and do these steps. Take a number 3 Phillips head, go around, check, make sure these haven't loosened up. I think there's like 30 something screws in this guitar. These all seem good. And then check your bridge, cross check it, make sure it's still snug. You don't have to wrench on it if it's already snug. Flip it over, check the bottom screws. Yep, they're still good. Good. Check the tailpiece. Make sure your strap button hasn't loosened up any. Okay, that's good. And another thing you need to do is check your tuners out. So let's check those tuners out. You want to make sure that they're not real stiff and they're free. This one's a little stiff. Take a little screwdriver, end of the peg right there, and just loosen it up just a hair and feel it. You don't want it too snug and you don't want it too loose. Another thing you need to check, take a 10mm open end wrench, and be careful doing this. Some people use a socket, but I like just using the wrench. And make sure that your tuners, because they do vibrate, everything vibrates on this thing, so things loosen up. Make sure your tuners are still nice and snug. Okay, like that. Done with that. Now we're going to flip it over again and make sure all these little screws in here haven't loosened up. Excuse me. A little bit had to bring me something. And you want to make sure these screws haven't loosened up. Okay, those are good. Make sure you check your other strap button. Make sure it hasn't loosened up. All right, that's good. Good to go. Another thing I like to do is clean the fretboard up. And I use Dunlop products, guitar polishing cleaner. Squirt a little bit of that on there. Clean that fretboard up. Try not to use Pledge or anything like that. Pledge has oil in it, and that'll just collect stuff. Find a nice polish, guitar polish. And then I use a little bit of that on the body also. Try not to get it on any of the chrome. And this will get all your sweat and gunk off of it. There. That's pretty nice. And then another thing I like to do, and I won't bore this with you, I just like to check them all out. Take some painter's tape. You can see this. Put a little bit of painter's tape on either side of the fret. Some 4/0 steel wool. And I mean, just lightly brush it. And it'll take all that gunk buildup off and clean the fret up, make it nice and smooth. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it or anything. You're more or less just wiping it off. A lot of people don't like steel wool, but I'm just doing a little thing like this. It's not bad. Biggest thing is you don't want to get them steel wool fragments around your pickup, because your pickup's magnetic and that would just be a mess. Most of these other frets don't look bad, it's just that they're up here. I guess I've spent a lot of time on the upper register. I may as well just do them all. Bore you guys with this. But, hey, your guitars need love too. Anyway, you get the picture. I won't bore you with the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this. And then I'm going to do another video with stringing it up and setup and intonation. Alright guys, it'll be a two-part video. I don't want to bore you with the rest of this cleanup, but basically check all your stuff. Make sure all your stuff hasn't loosened up and everything's in good order. You want to kind of look at your saddles too. Make sure your saddles haven't tilted one way or another. Make sure they're nice and level all the way across. Alright, see you in the second part.